Okay, I'm going to hold on just for a second. See if a couple people want to jump on here. Okay, it's working. Hey, everybody. So I am playing around with some new toys, and I decided that I don't know if this is going to work. Hopefully. Let's see if the sound is working. Okay. So I gotta mute that. Okay, so I'm playing around with some new toys, and I did some information, did this tutorial earlier. It was really appreciated, so I decided that I wanted to go live on here and do it for everybody else here. The information that I am going to be going through is in regards to VAERS, CDC, and information that they are providing, which is public information. You just have to know where to look for it. So this is a tutorial to show you how to look for these things so that you can go and look for yourself. That's what this is. If you don't want to believe me or other people on what we're finding, that's great. Go see it for yourself. That's what this is for. So hopefully this is coming across right. Sounds like the volume is good on the other end of what I'm checking, so I'm going to go ahead and share another screen so that you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So where I'm going is I'm just going into DuckDuckGo, and I'm putting in VAERS. So VAERS is Jab Adverse Event Reporting System. Now, that's not the site you want to go to. The site you want to go to find this information is this one, the VAERS Jab Safety CDC. So when you come in here, you are going to come down to, and I'm going to try and go slow. This is the one that I go to. I'm sure there's another button. But in here, you want to come down to this one right here. It says CDC's VAERS Wonder. This is the search engine. So when you come in here, there are some video tutorials that'll kind of go through this, but you just want to come down to the bottom first and click I agree. Okay. Now we're going to go to the request form. The request form is where you can get into the database and you can look for specific information. So I'm going to make this a little bigger for everybody to see this. So the first one, and you're not going to be able to see these drop downs when I drop them down, but I'm going to do this one a little bit different than I did earlier. So we've got symptoms, and this is what our search results are going to be by. And then we're going to go with jab type. And then we're going to go with events and characteristics as serious. Now, a fourth one that you can do is you can put in VAERS ID, just so that you can see that there is a specific ID reference for each one of these. And I'll just put that in. It's just another search option. So the important thing you need to click on here to be able to see the information is the adverse event description. Now, what I'm hoping is that you go through and you learn this and you go through this information and can start sharing this information with your friends and family. Now, you can get very, very detailed on this site and get down to, like, you can even put everybody in Montana that is a male over the age of 65. You can get very specific with this, but I'm going to kind of keep it a little bit general for everyone. So in section 2, select symptoms, I'm just going to select all. That way we can go through and look at everything. Which jab characteristics? Well, I'm going for this specific one that we're dealing with currently in this day and age. And you can even get down for manufacturer and how many doses. Then you can break it down in section 4 under particular states. I'm going to just show you the entire United States, all ages, all sexes. You can go through and, of course, get more defined if you wish. I'm just showing you how to use this site because there are some little kinks in it. And the other thing I'm going to put in here, event category, is I'm just going to go ahead and put deaths. Anybody that has had this particular jab, every single one of them have to be ID'd as whether it was the reason or whether it was not, they had it. Okay. In section 6, I leave it blank. Section 7. You need to come all the way down to 2021 and you have to hit open. The page has to refresh. It does a double refresh. And then, of course, it made it small. Again, it's going to do this every single time, so I'm just going to leave it this size for right now. I'm going to pick, let's do March of 2021. And you open that. And then you come back to the next one, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. These sections all have to have the same month, year, etc. We're going to do March in order for this to work. We're going to come back, section 9, 2021, March. Don't worry if you get that little red thing at the top. It doesn't change anything at the end. Again, March. And once I get this all done, I will make the screen larger so that you can see. But it is important that you understand where to find this information. You're not being told you can find this. You're not being told where, how, etc. And this is important. So now I'm going to hit send. So this is processing the information and the statistics I have asked for. So now I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, about as big as I can. Okay, that's about as big as I can. Now, the one that I thought would be the most important to come down here is to look specifically at like blood clotting. So I'm going to scroll. Don't mind me scrolling because obviously there is a lot of things in here. And the other thing you're going to find, you have to get specific with that report form because it only goes to a max of 10,000 cases. If you exceed that 10,000 cases, you're going to have to make it smaller. You're going to have to be more specific on your search types so that you get a smaller grouping. When I went in there originally and I did deaths for all of 2021, it was 19,000 and something that have had it, that have passed, whether it was from this or a different symptom. So this column is the symptoms. This is the kind they got. And then their ID number and information regarding that. So I was hoping it would have blood clotting, and it doesn't exactly. So there's probably another terminology it's going under. So you can see, like this one right here, was seen for weakness, tired, increased SOB, falls, increased confusion, and then subsequently hospitalized. They expired on March 7th. Many of these will tell you the date that they actually got it. Even time frames. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Received first on March 10th, waited for an hour, was walking to their vehicle, became short of breath, got in their vehicle, called 911 due to severe shortness of breath. Rescue arrived at approximately 11, found the patient in distress, administered epinephrine. Patient placed on a CPAP en route to the ER, became unresponsive, frothing pink sputum. Intubated by paramedics en route. Patient arrived at 11. Went into cardiac arrest. Continued to be unstable. Multiple rounds of cardiac arrest. Patient ultimately did not survive the cardiac arrests at 2:37, so within hours. You're going to find many of these on here. The important thing is that you know where to come into this to look. So you can sit here and go through all of these. Blood creatine increased seems to be coming up. Blood cultures, blood gases, blood glucose decreased, increased. You know, that might be due to diabetes, of course. You just keep going through these. Now, I'm going to get back here in the regular screen now that I've shown you how to go through this tutorial. And this is what I'm going to say. This is up to your discretion of information of what you understand on here. The thing is that this information is something that is public information. Now, they're not going to give you patient information as far as like, you know, name, etc. Now, if you want to break it down to state and age group, you can get more specific with those things. Now, many of these symptoms were the cause. I'm not denying that. But you're going to see things in here that are going to be pretty blatantly obvious when you have someone that gets it and within 2 hours they've passed. There are many of those in here. You need to be aware of that. You're not going to hear this from your regular news outlet. You're not going to hear this in your newspaper. They're not going to show you and tell you these things. The CDC itself is not going to just come out forward and be like, hey, here's the access, here's how you find it, and you can go ahead and start doing your own research into it. This is where you can now take an opportunity, take some time, go through, read through some. If you have concerns, share them with your family, talk about it. You can get into very specific, obviously, like Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. You can go in and you can look at those things. Now, this is also specific to the United States, from what I understand. So if you're in Canada or in a foreign country, you're just going to be looking at what is happening specifically in the United States. So my suggestion is take this what you will. This is just information, passing it on to you so that you can take that and go pull up your own computer and pull this up, be able to look at it yourself, and to come to your own personal discretion, results, analysis of what you are finding in here. But the important part is these are the facts, people. This is straight from the CDC itself. And what you decide to do with it is what you decide to do with it. But I felt, since this is a piece of information that I had been given that I didn't feel enough people had seen, I taught myself how to go through the website so that I could share this information with you so that you can prove to yourself, family, friends, whoever it may be, that this is reality. This is what we're facing right now. So I appreciate anybody that jumped on. You're more than welcome to share this. I will make it public. It's not this particular second. I have to go change the setting. I will make this public for everybody to share. I don't mind if you share. Don't hesitate if you have some questions or something. I can't answer everything. I'm not an expert. I'm not saying that I am, but I am saying that there are ways that you can find this information, and you need to be aware of that. I would be doing everybody I know an injustice if I didn't share this information of what I know with you. And I felt that was very important. So I'm not going to take any more time. I just wanted this to be short and sweet. But this is important. I hope you appreciate it. I hope that you find some information in here that gives you some peace of mind one way or another. At least you know. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you all.